What's going on, everyone? I'm Kale Achievements F, and I'm back with We the Gamers again. This time, bringing you a preview video for Torchlight 2. Now, this game has been highly anticipated, a lot of hype surrounding it, especially with the whole Diablo 3 Torchlight 2 comparison. So let's take a look at some of the new features of the game. Right away, you'll notice that there's 4 new classes, and the 3 from Torchlight 1 have been ousted. So you have the Engineer, uses, larger weapons. We'll go into the classes a bit more in depth later, but Engineer, larger weapons. You have the Outlander, they're more like the pistols, kind of dexterity type character. Ember Mage, going to be using a lot of elemental spells, almost like your cliche mage with a twist. And a Berserker, which is, you're going to be your tank, absorb a lot of damage, wants to get in the fray and start meleeing. One thing you'll notice here that's is a departure from the first game is that there is more character customization. You can choose, male or female. You have the different types of heads, hair color. See, so right here, I'm going to start with an Engineer, and let's see, I can choose my guy, like the guy with the mustache. You can randomize. Really, really cool. Glad they have that. Plus, you still have choosing the character names, choosing the pet names, which you'll see here in just a second. It's cool. It's a nice touch. It's nice to be able to kind of customize your character, make it feel more like yours. I'm going to call this guy Frank, just nice and simple. Now let's choose some pets. They have 8 pets this time around instead of the usual 2 to 4, depending on what version you played of Torchlight 1. And see, so you have, panther, bulldog, cat, whatever that thing is. Looks like this dog thing, and oh, come on, you gotta take ferret. You can slightly tweak their appearance. And you get to naming your pets as well. Let's see what we got. Maybe, actually, no. Let's do Watson, because sidekick, whole deal. You have the difficulties here: casual, easy, normal is normal. Veteran is, if you're a veteran from Torchlight 1, you're gonna want to pick veteran, and elite, which is intense, meant for advanced and/or brave players. And then there's also a hardcore mode where there's permadeath. And one of the big things here, there's now an internet option and a LAN option, because Torchlight 2, one of the big things they added was multiplayer, which I'll quickly preview a little later in the video. So right here we have the Engineer. I'm using some big weapons here. That's what it's going to be all about. And let me just look at some of the skills. Yeah, see, so with here, you kind of have the focus on the tech. See here, there's a healing bot I can choose. These are more like defensive / all-around abilities, like shield bash. And in that first tree, it's more focusing on the big weapons, the two-handed weapons. Getting into the fray. You're going to be a little slow, but you're going to just want to kill it. Now for the Outlander, which was the second class we went over, more of a ranged character. So see, the first tree is going to be all about, ranged weapons, guns. That second tree there, blades, things like that. The Outlander seems to be more like your typical dexterity type character. See, like, cursed daggers. And you're going to want to avoid taking damage as the Outlander and kind of want to hang back. It depends on your playstyle. See, you can shoot enemies from afar, kind of let your other team members, because there is multiplayer, let your other team members kind of run in and absorb some of the damage, especially if you have like a Berserker or something on your team. Pretty cool. Show off a couple of the skills here. Rapid fire. Oh, see there's like it shoots like a blue mystical thing, and it kind of bounces off enemies, and rapid fire. Let's move on to the mage archetype. Now, the way the mage skill tree is sorted is you have the fire attacks and abilities, you have the ice attacks and abilities, and then you have the shock attacks and abilities. So things like Frost Phase, Frost Storm, you have Magma Shot, abilities like that. See, Arc Beam. So these elements are obviously going to come into play. Certain enemies are going to have weaknesses or strengths against certain abilities here. It's interesting to note that the Archmage isn't completely a hangback character. As you can see, the primary attack is using that melee attack there. So it looks like it's going to give a bit more versatility, as in you can solo an Archmage and an Ember Mage, my apologies, and it's gonna be okay running it solo. Really cool class, I must admit. I enjoy the kind of elementals and all that. And the 4th class we're looking at, which is the last class, is the Berserker. Now, you can see right there, kind of have the Berserker's going to want to get in your face, rough up some guys, absorb damage. See, I have my charge bar kind of in the middle of the screen there full. And the Berserker is going to mainly focus on melee attacks. The one ability you start off with is kind of like a claw scrape that makes enemies around you bleed, but you need to get up close and in their face. That first skill tree, a lot of melee attacks, you got the claws and stuff. This second skill tree, it's interesting because, like the Ember Mage, it has a focus on the frost, even though the Berserker doesn't really seem to be that kind of character. And this third tree is really cool. It has a lot of wolf abilities. So within the Berserker, there's like a wolf spirit, and so that's pretty interesting because, which you'll see in a second here, it allows for some really cool melee abilities and melee attacks that are gonna get in your opponent's face and just deal some great damage. See, like right there, that was the wolf strike there. So pretty cool. The Berserker is gonna be the tank in your party. And speaking of parties, let me just quickly show you the multiplayer right here. So when you pick a game, you do have to make an account through the Runa Games website. There will be details in game, let you know how to do that, and so on. As you can see here, you make an account, you sign in, then you're going to see a list of all games you can pick. So, it tells you how many players are in that game, the level range allowed, the game rank itself, the difficulty they're playing. See, so I click on this game here, it shows everyone in the game. So there's the one guy, level 16, and you're just going to join. And you get an achievement for it, which is cool to note. But this is going to be the main draw, because this is a huge, huge upgrade from Torchlight 1. You got the no multiplayer in T1, and now in T2, you're going to have up to, I think, 4-player multiplayer. It's going to be awesome. And just like a kind of D3 style, you can find their waypoints, and you can warp to them, and you're good. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I appreciate that. And for more content, check out wethegamers.com.